Welcome to Meet the Candidate with your host, Sue Lonnie Madsen. Meet the Candidate is your opportunity to see local candidates and hear about the experiences that have shaped their lives. Meet the Candidate is a nonpartisan community project brought to you by our friends at Greater Spokane Incorporated, Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, We Believe, We Vote, and Better Spokane. Now, here's Sue Lonnie.
Well, welcome to Meet the Candidate, and today's guest is Robbie Katherine Anthony. She's running for Spokane County Commissioner District 3, and welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is just a chance to get acquainted like you'd chat with anybody in the waiting room and making small talk, and I just start with, where'd you grow up?
I moved around a lot. I was born in New Mexico. My father was in the military, Air Force, and we moved out to the East Coast, New Hampshire, Vermont, and then came out to Spokane, and it's kind of my adopted hometown.
A lot of people come to Fairchild and stay.
Yeah,
it's a common story around here.
Certainly.
Yeah. While you were traveling with all those schools, you had some opportunities to do different activities in different parts of the country. What are some things that stood out to you?
Quite honestly, most of my recollection is based in Spokane. Oh. So, I was just any other kid, just trying to learn. I enjoyed the arts, enjoyed a little bit of track and field here and there. Nothing exceedingly notable, but out here went to St. Mary's down in the valley, then St. Thomas More, then Gonzaga Prep, and that's where the bulk of my education came from.
Oh, okay.
Prior to my collegiate experience.
So you went on to college after Gonzaga Prep?
I did.
What did you study?
I studied business. So I've been starting businesses for the last decade. I currently run 2 small businesses. So to get a college degree in that same arena just made natural sense. And after 4 years, I came back to Spokane.
Well, where did you study? If you were?
I was studying in Olympia, Washington at the Evergreen State College.
Okay, so you went out for college and came back. That's nice. Well, that's always a story people like to hear, as someone who's come back to the community.
Yeah, I fell in love, and my wife wanted to be closer to her family, so it was a really easy decision to come back.
Okay. What are you've had a lot of travel experiences, at least as a child. Have you traveled much as an adult?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go down to Costa Rica for a bit with a company I worked for a little. I recently went up to Canada, but honestly, I spend pretty much all my days in Spokane.
Yeah. What do you find most attractive about Spokane compared to some of the places that you've traveled?
Spokane is such an interesting place. A lot of my work is in the technology sector, and Spokane is quickly turning into a hub for that, specifically with respect to hardware manufacturing. I don't think it's too far-fetched to see smartphone production out here at some point in the future. And so as a technologist really interested in that field and working on products of my own, just to see the convergence of all that talent in a place that is kind of that little big city. Everyone doesn't know everyone, but everyone knows somebody who knows someone.
You could play 6 degrees of separation real easy.
Yeah. So it's very homey, but it's still big enough to really support some people's higher pursuits and ambitions.
Okay. So what was your first paid job where you first connected getting, work with money?
So my first job, I had a 3-month stint at Safeway. I was a bagger, so I was taking bags out to people's cars. But in my first really substantial job was with Strong Solutions. That's a Spokane-based technology company.
Okay, I think I have heard I've heard of them. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, they kind of carved out their niche with Apple products before the Apple Store came in, and they did a lot of kind of office wiring, so the big cables, the Cat 5 cables that are in the ceilings in a lot of offices. I was the person running that, and then from that, I took that money I made and invested it into my own company, a t-shirt company, and then my boss offered to partner with me, and I had my first office at 15 down in the garage of Strong Solutions on Sprague.
Oh, cool. What was your favorite t-shirt customer?
Because
I know some people who've had that kind of a shop, there can be just an awful lot of interesting variety.
Yeah, I really liked working with the local charities, nonprofits. There was a organization that was working to bring awareness for individuals battling lupus. They were a fantastic client just because I got to learn so much about the cause, and it was a great cause, and they were just lovely people to work with.
Cool. So you went on from that company to what kind of a companies are you running now?
So I run two companies. One is FireDev Technology. So we do app development, software development, website development, pretty much just coding. And then I also run Praxis Coworking, which is a space for entrepreneurs to work for a pretty reduced fee. They get access to Wi-Fi, a desk, conference rooms, and they don't have to worry about having a lease or any other long-term commitments. So it's kind of a
private business incubator.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay. Well, you've got lots of things going on.
Yes.
A couple of successful businesses. What prompted you to volunteer to run for elected office?
Well, I was concerned with the current composition of the Board of Commissioners. A little nervous that they're engaging in a little bit of groupthink. And so I wanted to add a voice of diversity, whether that's by political kind of affiliation as a progressive, as a transgender individual. I think that viewpoint can help enrich the conversation. Because the way I see it is that if you've got a really good idea, a really good argument, policy or budget allocation, and it can withstand criticism or different viewpoint, that's just going to make it stronger. So I wanted to be able to do that, and then I wanted to bring fiscal responsibility to the Board of Commissioners. I saw in 2017 there was a $10 million budget shortfall, as reported in the Spokesman. And as someone who balances their personal budget and their company budgets, and most everyone in Spokane manages a way to do that, I think it's time to bring someone who represents that and does that at the county level.
Okay, so you were just looking at the existing composition. That was what drew you into the race, then. Yes.
I think Spokane has got an itch for change at the county level, and I hope to be that agent of change.
Okay, well that kind of jumps right in there into the last question. But every candidate needs to have a good elevator speech to to describe how you see the office that you're running for, and why should voters choose you for that office. And you can look right at the camera and let everybody know.
Sure. So my name again is Robbie Katherine Anthony, and I hope to represent you at the county level in the capacity of a county commissioner. I hope to bring a differing set of views, opinions, and beliefs to the Board of Commissioners to hopefully enrich the conversations to create better solutions that impact everyone. I want to continue to work in every aspect of my life to make sure that fiscal responsibility is a priority, and I believe that my experience as a business owner will translate well to the county level. And I hope that just by virtue of being a different individual, we can continue to make sure that all lives are enriched by the decisions of our county government, and that every voice has an opportunity to speak at the table. And that's why I'm running.
Okay, well, I thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being our kickoff interview for Meet the Candidate for this season.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Robbie.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. Spokane Talks thanks our community-minded partners, Greater Spokane Incorporated, the Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, We Believe We Vote, and Better Spokane for helping make Meet the Candidate possible.